Acts chapter 17 tells us that the Apostle Paul planted a church in Thessalonica together with Silas and Timothy, and he got to spend about 2 or 3 months there before he was forced to leave due to persecution. About a year later, he writes 1 Thessalonians as a little epistle commending them for their faithfulness and addressing, in chapters 4 and 5, a few issues that need to be dealt with. About 3 months later, the Apostle Paul again writes to the Thessalonians, and that's the letter we know of as 2 Thessalonians. In this letter, the Apostle Paul deals with several key issues that are related to the events and circumstances in the church in Thessalonica in that time frame, roughly 51 AD. Namely, that it appears they had received a letter suggesting that the day of the Lord had already come and they were in it. And the Apostle Paul in chapter 1 addresses that concern, saying that he not only did not write that letter, but it is clear that what they believed was in that letter is contrary to what he taught them. 2 Thessalonians 2 goes on to cover the corrective instruction the Apostle Paul has for them. Namely, you're not in the day of the Lord, because if you were, the falling away would have taken place, the man of sin would have been revealed, and the restrainer would have been taken away. Identifying those key terms and interpreting them are key interpretive issues in the context of studying the New Testament, particularly the book of 2 Thessalonians. In chapter 2, the Apostle Paul then corrects this errant letter and this misunderstanding that they are in the day of the Lord. And he communicates very clearly that just as he had taught them before, that it would not be the day of the Lord unless the falling away had taken place, the man of sin had been revealed, and the restrainer was taken out of the way. Then in chapter 3, he goes on to commend them and to encourage them to stay faithful. And he addresses a couple of practical issues, particularly related to some who were so enamored with looking forward to the return of Christ and the day of the Lord that they were being idle in their lives. And Paul gives clear instructions that they are to disassociate themselves with them, treat them as brothers, but admonish and encourage them to instead live in light of the imminency of the return of Christ and live for Christ. Preaching 2 Thessalonians can often devolve into a matter of trying to teach eschatology. And while certainly there is great eschatology in 2 Thessalonians, and the day of the Lord is yet future, the fact of the matter is the Apostle Paul is not seeking to give us a timeline. Instead, preaching 2 Thessalonians faithfully will involve fitting it into a literal, grammatical, historical, hermeneutic timeline, but at the same time and primarily focusing on living in light of the imminent return of Christ. And that's what makes 2 Thessalonians such an excellent book to preach.